day, Southwest Middle School students. I am Mrs. Kraft, which you should know that by now, and we are going to be recording my lectures this year. I'm doing this because I am going to be placing them on YouTube, and you will be able to access them from the internet. I will give you my username so that you can access them, and this will be good in case you miss a day of school or if you just want to review something before a test. I am sure that doing this will help you out a lot. This is going to be my first recording, so if I look a little nervous, it's because I haven't ever done this before. So today we are going to be discussing the 5 themes of geography. As you know, that is going to be our first unit this year, and so we are going to start out with the 5 themes of geography. They are movement, region, location, interaction, and place, otherwise known as Mr. Lip. Mr. Lip will help you remember for the test. Okay? So if you can write that down in your notebooks, that would be wonderful. Movement is the first theme. There are really 3 different types of movements. The first being movement of people, and people move every day. We move from our house to work. We move from one place to the next, say if we have a new job. And so that's the easiest movement to remember. The other 2 movements are the movement of goods and the movement of ideas. The movement of goods means the movement of things that can be bought and sold. A perfect example of this is the clothing that we wear. If you look at the tag on your clothing, more than likely it says that it was made in China. What that means is that someone created that clothing in China, and then that clothing moved across the ocean probably, or by plane, but more than likely the ocean, to the United States, where it was then sold. So that is how goods, or things that can be bought and sold, move from place to place. Ideas move from place to place in a pretty unique way. We move ideas almost constantly. From when we call someone on the cell phone and we say, "Hello, this is what I did today." That moves ideas from you to someone else very fast. We also move ideas from person to person through the internet, which I am doing right now by recording this and putting it on YouTube. I am giving you my ideas. That is moving my ideas from my head to your head. Okay. The second theme of geography is region. And a region is a area that has something in common. And I will give you a couple of examples of that so it will help you understand. When I say it has things in common, I mean something like coal. Pennsylvania is a coal region because it has coal underneath the surface. And it's something that most of Pennsylvania has in common. If you live in Reading, or if you live in the upper area of Pennsylvania, you are still in the same region because both areas contain some coal. Also, the Middle East is a region because most of the people in Middle East are Muslim. That is a religion. So you can be a region based on your religion. Okay, so again, region is a large area with something in common. Location is the third theme of geography. There are 2 different types of location. There are absolute location and your relative location. And location is just your global address. Okay, so absolute location is your actual address. For instance, if you look at the address of our school, it is on 3rd Street. That is the absolute location of our school. If you look at the relative location of something, you are looking at where it is in relation to somewhere else. A great example of this would be where you live in relation to the school. It's your relative location. So if you were to get directions from the school to where you live, you are getting the relative location. Okay? Um, Interaction is the fourth theme. Interaction is a little bit more complicated, but what it has to deal with is how we interact with our environment and how our environment interacts with us. I can give you an example of some positive interaction. Positive interaction would be where humans would maybe pick trash up off the floor, off the road, or out of our environment and recycle it. That is a positive interaction with our environment. Our environment also positively interacts with us because it gives us fresh air to breathe and clean water to drink. Our environment gives us plants and animals that we need to eat in order to survive. And it also gives us some negative interactions. Negative interactions meaning if our environment causes floods, that negatively impacts us as a people. Or if there is a tornado that destroys homes, that is a negative interaction that our environment can cause on us. Can anyone think of any other negative interactions that our environment can have on us? Some negative interactions that we can have on our environment. Simply littering is a negative interaction. A negative interaction could be the pollution that we put into the air, or the amount of roads that we build that take away wildlife and negatively impact the animals and the plants that live on our planet. Some ways that we kind of do both a positive and a negative would be we may cause animals to become endangered, but then we may try to combat that by creating breeding programs that would positively interact with our environment. The last theme of geography would be place. And place is simply what makes some place unique. So it is the character or features of a location. And I can give you some examples of that would be culture. The culture of a place makes it unique. If it has a certain type of music that is different, that makes it a place. For instance, Jamaica has a very distinct type of music, and that causes it to be a place. Let me see if I can think of any other language. If a region speaks only one language, that makes it unique. It has one unique language, and that's why it is considered a place. A place can also be considered a place for its physical features, such as its rivers or monuments or buildings. For instance, Reading is the only place that has the pagoda, and the pagoda makes Reading a unique place. We also have the Schuylkill River that runs through Reading. That makes Reading a unique place. And if anyone has ever played the game Monopoly, you know that Reading has been made a famous, unique place through that game because it has the Reading Railroad as one of the places that you can land on. And if you can think of any other ways that a place is unique, you can share them with me in class. But this concludes my lecture on the 5 themes of geography. Again, those 5 themes are movement, region, location, interaction, and place. And the easiest way to remember that is Mr. Lip. And please look forward to the next lecture that I will place on my YouTube page. And I hope you enjoyed this and found it a little more stimulating than having me stand up in front of class. Thank you for your time, and I will see you next time.